This is the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove and Corey Gentry. Billy and Corey are innovative leaders in the industry and love teaching others how to build quality fence. So sit down, grab a cold beverage, and get ready to talk about fence. Today's show is sponsored by Mr. Fence Academy. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove, and co-host Corey Gentry.
What is going on, Facebook? I got that right. I got it absolutely right tonight, baby. It's just me tonight. My Corey had a baseball game start at 6:30 tonight, so he missed 3 games while we were out in training. So he had to make it because he's the kid's pitcher. So real quick, we want to go ahead and thank our sponsor, Mr. Fence Academy. I am all draped up in the Mr. Fence Academy gear tonight. I got my shirt on. I love this shirt. It's the sports shirt. It's awesome. Stays dry. Got my hat. Can't wear my hat on screen though because you can't see my eyes. But guys, this past week has been crazy, man. We've had pretty much all the trucks go down. Of course, Frankenstein went down a couple months ago, blown motor. My work truck went down this past couple weeks. Transmission went out. And then the Excursion stopped running. And then Corey's Dodge is going in tomorrow for a warranty transmission. So it's been a crazy week. We've been limiting the Dodge, making it throw all sorts of codes. That way they can just replace the transmission in it. But sometimes that's what you got to deal with as a fence company owner, man. Like you got to think of all of these trucks and trailer. They will break down, and it's not a matter of if, it's when. So we have just run into a spell of bad luck, man. I even told Corey the other day, I was like, bro, I feel like we're just being kicked while we're down right now, man. Like, damn, bro. The bull, we got the bull home, and our second day of use, the small pulley walked itself all the way off. I rubbed up against the cage and broke the pulley. So it was just a week worth of like, oh my God. But, I did get the new motor in for the US Hammer. Thank you, Brian. So I went ahead and changed that motor, and we were able to use the US Hammer to get us by until Puma sent us another small pulley. Thank you guys for overnighting that to me. We got that installed. We got the belts all tightened up today. We got the transmission dropped off at the transmission shop for the main work truck. Super good news is they already had a pre-built 4R100. What are the odds of that? Of a 20-year-old work truck already pre-built sitting there? They just didn't have the torque converter. They were like, we can get it in 2 days. I was like, bet, order it. So we should be back up and running full speed by Monday. Super excited about that. And I did skip weekly wins, but that was my weekly win right there, was going to the transmission shop earlier today and finding out that they already had a built 4R100 for a 7.3 diesel. Like, what are the odds of that? I mean, it was wonderful. Hold on, let me find my there we go. I'm finding my applause button. Stop for my own self. There we go. But I also do want to thank National.
This is the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove.
That's my fault, guys. My fingers hit the wrong thing. But I also do want to thank National Metal Industries for the shirts and for the future sponsorship. Can't wait to send off the script off to Mr. Producer, which you guys just heard again, since I didn't get it right this time and I hit that way into it. But like we also have one announcement. We got another Mr. Fence Academy training coming up, and it looks like it is in Michigan. Yes, guys, we're talking about Vanderbilt, Michigan, and it is Wednesday, June 5th. Vanderbilt, Michigan, put on by JLH Farm Services. I can only assume that that's Jordan Hunt's like company. But this is going to be a no dig King Plus training, guys. And if you are interested in getting into the no dig world and you're interested in doing Kings Plus, this is the way to go. You learned so much valuable information there. It's unreal. But guys, with that being said, without further ado, we got Mr. Pavel on, and I cannot pronounce his last name correctly, so I'm not even going to try because I'm going to murder it. So we are going to go ahead and bring him on, and we're going to get right to it.
What's up, gang? How are you guys
going
doing today?
on? How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. How are you today?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good, man. It was a pretty calm day down here, man. Me and a new helper went and knocked out 101 foot, 110 foot of 2-rail like split cedar rail. So that took 2 hours. It was super easy to do, but yeah, man, good day. It was a nice change of pace. We had a nasty rainstorm and like tornado storm come through yesterday, so it was a shop day. So we just worked on trucks, worked on the drivers, got everything fixed, ready to go, and we hit the ground running today. But so real quick, just tell everybody where you're out of, so that way everybody can get a little bit more familiar with you, sir.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Pavel Shlyahovsky. I've had my first name.
There we go, Shlyahovsky.
Yes, sir. That's it.
There we go. I got it right. Heck yeah, man.
Got it. I go by Pavel Schley. I'll be honest with you. There's really no right way or wrong way to say my name because everybody butchers it from the first to the last person. Very few people get it right. So I'm one of the only people that I get it right. So I hope it's right. But I'm going Pavel, Shlyahovsky, all kinds of different ways. So I guess that's what happens when you have 11 letters in your last name. So yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have a deck company that we're turning into a hybrid, also a fence company here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are, new in the fence world. The deck business, we were very fortunate, and we had a little success our way with
a little success.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. We've been very, very fortunate. I mean, I tell everybody the grass is greener on the other side, but we have been very fortunate with good people and good team, good work ethic. I went through a lot this past year for different changes that I had in the business life, but we've been fortunate. We've been, nothing beats hard work. There's no secret sauce of the best. I tell people the best secret sauce to anything is hard work. And however you want to take it, you can work hard, you can work smart, you can work hard and smart too. So I'm here to learn from you guys too. So, but I'm here to enjoy the show. Thank you for inviting me today. Thank you, Billy.
Absolutely, man. And whenever we got up to Indiana for the training, 2 weeks ago now? Yeah. 2 weeks ago now. We got in and we got checked in, and Sean was like, "Hey, you guys come by the house." And we're like, "All right, cool." So we pull up, and Sean's working on the Jeep that is the breast cancer like awareness Jeep. And we're just sitting there talking, shooting the shit, and he's like, "Man, you're never going to believe this." I was like, "All right, what? Shoot." So he says, "I got this guy, and he's a deck builder." And I was like, all right. And he was like, he's doing 1.5 million a month in decks in Pennsylvania. He just came to the retreat, and he went all in on the fence business. And I'm like, I'm sitting there because not only have I not like seen Sean in 4 or 5 months, and I'm like, but I'm also like processing all of this information that he's saying, and I'm like, man, that's wild. I was like, never in my wildest dreams could we be doing $1.5 million of fence a month. And I'm like processing all this information. I was like, man, I've got to meet this guy. Like,
Oh,
I've got to meet this guy. I've got to get so there's gonna be a great conversation had. So, like the minute that you showed up to the training, I walked straight up to you and I was like, hey man, my name's Billy. I'd like you to be on the show. And I didn't want to be any more straightforward like than that. Like I was super excited to meet you. And like with that said, will you tell us the story of Pavel? Tell us how you got into the construction world. Tell us about the deck business. Like I know this is a fence podcast, but I would love to hear your background. I'm sure some of the like listeners would love to as well.
Well, thank you for the introduction, man. Wow, that's huge. I'm very, very humbled. Whether it's 1.5, 1, 1.7, 1.2, whatever it is, we're floating around. Last month, we did pretty good. Last month, we actually did quite a bit less. We had a huge fly in March in business. Because a lot of the not only new customers, but also the customers that we were doing from last year that did not buy but bought with us this year, that helped us out. Plus, we do quite a bit of some of the builder work too, so that helps us out. That brings us up there a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, the grass is greener on the other side always. My story is not the easiest story, I would say. Last year I went through a lot with my GC company that we did. I mean, I almost actually went, believe it or not, I almost went bankrupt. It was there's a lot that happened. I was growing so fast.
Like happens, man. That's just like all the empowering stuff, man. Like happens. So, I mean, tell away, bro, because you might be helping somebody who's in that exact spot right now.
Yeah. So just to go back on myself too, I'm originally from Ukraine, was born in Mykolaiv, Ukraine. Moved here to the United States when I was 6 years old in January 1990. My dad walked off the airplane with $20 in his pocket and 5 kids and a 2-week-old baby. And I said, God, like, I am going to make it or fail it. So, and, fortunately with being in this great country of opportunity, my dad made it. He was a custom tailor in the city of Pittsburgh. The best guy. I mean, people don't know about, tailors can be poor. My dad, we grew up poor. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we grew up in 7 kids in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, all of us sharing the bathroom and, kids bunking together, 7 brothers and sisters, including myself. We were humble beginnings for sure. My dad went to the, bought the house for like $20,000 in a school district that he knew that would be a good school district for his kids to go to. So I got to give him credit. He's no longer alive now. He's passed away, but I got to give a lot of credit to him because I learned a lot from him as far as go all in, or go home, and also with ethics and, integrity. I learned a lot from my old man. But yeah, my GC story was I got to tell you honestly, there's nothing like humble beginnings. I started years ago. My 2004, 2005, I started my dad's station wagon, and I borrowed his car for to run around, do custom trim work, mill work. So we started doing trim work, and we trimmed homes, we installed cabinets, and our business kept on growing. Then I said, well, how can I grow this business to a different level? And started to do like little additions and little bathrooms and doing renovations, and that part grew, and it kept on growing and growing and growing. Hindsight, I think if we would have done things a little differently, I think our business could have done well in the GC world as well. I didn't allow it to be honest with you. I think that I went really heavy into the custom world and very, very high-end residential. People know me. We have a great reputation. Nothing is short of saying of our quality of work was like top notch always. I mean, I originally started installing cabinets myself. I installed miters, crown molding, all that stuff, and until I found out other guys can do it better than me and faster than me. And that's when I said, okay, well, let them do it. Let me try to work on other things,
Right.
So yeah, it kind of really evolved, into what I am today, and last year was a tough year for me, really, really tough. I couldn't believe how, much after COVID, a lot of the prices of materials, I had locked in contracts, which makes me now be a little smarter with my new contracts. We had projects where my labor was already fixed, my materials were already fixed, but I had a contract. One of them was a huge commercial fit out for casework for an apartment building, huge job, and I put resources and time and energy into a project that was a year and a half long, and it ended up costing me, after having 10 employees that work full time, it costed me $28,000. So I see, like, that's a lot of overhead, a lot of time. I had an office, I had a full staff, and we were doing other things, and people started getting behind it. My business grew, but my organization, like internally, did not grow. And a lot of it was because we were doing too many different things. We were doing, like, I had my trim business, I have my my GC business. We're renovating houses for people, working with architects, and a lot of people wanted Pavel. A lot of people wanted me, and that kind of burned me out, to be honest with you. That's when I said, I need to do something where I can scale it, and it doesn't have to be everything about me. And aside from my last name on the company.
Yeah.
So
hey, trust me, man. I get it, bro. Whenever I started, I was doing everything: drywall, painting. And once I finally found my niche, and I was like, I'm good at this. Like, I'm really good at this. Like, it wasn't 2 or 3 months later, I was like, drop every other service except for fences. Drop it.
There you go. Amen. I believe that.
I don't care how broke we may be this week. Drop it, because if I can sell a fence and I can build a fence and we can do it perfect every single time, it's worth all of this unloading trailers and getting ready for different types of job, whether it be sheetrock or trimmed work or all of that stuff takes so much time. And you don't really realize it until you're sitting there doing it and you're like, oh man, I've been loading and unloading this trailer for almost an hour.
Amen.
Whenever I could have been on the job site, because I only have one set of tools that I need for the scope of work that I'm doing, and I just could have just picked up the trailer and gone. So, I mean, I am all for it, but I'm also for diversification, but it has to do with the same industry that I'm in. Like, for instance, I mean, like, we offer staining services. That doesn't mean that I'm going to go stain your house, or like I'm going to go stain your wood floors. I'm going to stain your fence.
Yep,
and if they want a deck stained, I'm going to like pass that off to a real professional, because I have dabbled in deck staining, and that's a whole scientific degree. You got to know all about the wood species that you're dealing with. A fence is a fence is a fence, and you can just throw stain on it. So, we'll do that. But other than that, man, fences is our bread and butter.
Yeah,
and that's how.
Amen.
And that's how it's been for the past 5 years. So
that's awesome. I love it. I had a really hard time last year doing that, because I loved everybody. I loved everybody I work with. It was just, to be honest with you, like, going through that hard financial part and making those hard decisions, people you worked with for a long time, it's crushing. It could really, really crush you. I mean, we had a great team of guys that were doing stuff. The business grew, but my internal organization didn't 100% grow. And I think a lot of it has to do with me, to be honest. I could take the blame for it. We did a lot of cool projects with some really cool people, with some great architects, and some fantastic work that we've done. I mean, we've done stuff subpar to none. Nobody could do what we did value-wise, And the other kicker was, I had a project that we were into, and on top of all that I was telling you about, we had a customer who ran out of money on the big job, and that hurt us as well, in our company. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm gonna do one thing. One thing that's making, what is keeping our business afloat. That was my carpentry service stuff I started with years ago. And my decks, they were, and, our services are, were paying for all the other things that we were doing. We were building people houses. We were building people additions, doing those big, sexy, big projects, but they weren't making us any money. The only person that was stressed out was me. There was people stressed in the company, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, financially, Pavel was responsible. Pavel was going to write the check. Pavel was going to borrow from Peter to pay Paul to make sure everybody got paid. And thank God, everybody got paid Schley Construction has paid every single debt to anybody that we've worked with, and we're very, very, very proud of it because of how much work we've put in to get there and do what we did last year. We are very, very proud of that. But we got
man, and just a real quick segue, guys.
Yeah.
Whenever you're scaling your business past $1 million, let's be real, you're gonna go into debt.
Yeah.
It just happens. Don't let it freak you out. Manage the debt properly. Pay whatever payments you have to pay, and pay them on time. And I promise you, any of those people will still give you their services as long as you're paying on time and you are managing your debt properly, because you cannot scale your business unless you're just a money tree out back without like accumulating some type of debt. And that's just the facts of it.
Amen. Yeah, debt is a very big thing. It can, we have debt too. Our company has debt. When I say we've paid everybody, I mean, don't mean that we've paid down all our debt. Hell no. We have a lot of debt. It's about us having to pay all the contractors. Every sub got paid. Even though Pavel Shlyahovsky did not get paid, Pavel Shlyahovsky paid everybody. And every supplier got paid. My Home Depots, my lumber yards, my vinyl suppliers, my vinyl railing people, anybody that I've worked for, that has worked for us as a company, everybody got paid, and that was something, going through a really difficult time that I could say that me and my wife are super proud of, that, the things that me and my wife sacrificed to make sure everybody got paid. I mean, there could be a book about that. And I can say I'm very, very proud of it, for sure. So.
Trust me, I know, bro. I've been there, done that. And, there's been multiple times where I took my paycheck in the middle of the week next week because it just wasn't doable.
Amen.
But I mean, like, with that said, give us a recap of the Mr. Fence Academy retreat. I've never been. We were supposed to go this year, but as I told you on the phone on the way here, Corey's leg break right before the start of the year, we had to rebrand the whole company, and so we were kind of working our way back from scratch. So just give us a recap of the retreat.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, how I got into fence too is I'll rewind a little bit here. So when I did the decks, we focused, my company would not take on any other work except decks. Like if people called me, I had people crying and called me saying, I need to have this $1 million addition. I'd love you guys to come out and we're ready for the project. We have our financing in place. Our bank is going to write you the check. We're ready to go. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have the time to do it. We've rebranded completely to go to decks. And basically, what happened was, beginning this year after my rubble that we were climbing out of, I really realized who in my company was really the people that stuck with me, that went through the hard time with me. And I said, you know what, we had a great ending into the year. I took everybody to Florida. It wasn't a big team. It was just actually the four of us that were like the core members of our team. That we went down to Florida and we said, here's what we're up. Here's what we're up against. How we're going to do the things differently this year. And I can't help myself when I have something going good. I don't just sit at home. I have to always keep growing and doing something. I'm always all into whatever I'm doing. And at the place that we were talking in Florida, I said, what can we add on to what we're doing? We have a lot of customers. Whether we quoted the jobs, got the jobs, didn't get the jobs, what can we add to our service that wouldn't hurt us? Like, what can we add that could be a benefit and help both ways? If we can collaborate something that we can add as a service to our business. And we thought about water irrigation. We thought about doing people's sprinkler systems for their backyards. We thought about doing. We still do a little bit of sheds and pergolas, different, which we'll do anyways. But we basically have decided that it would be fencing. And the reason why is because I think that when I'm doing the flyers and the hard marketing and doing the canvas marketing, I can give them a flyer with 2 services instead of just 1. And it's something that I'm already into it. Fencing is not the same as railing. Don't get me wrong. Actually, railing has a lot more complexity than fencing, but something like where I could take my guys from installing, people that were installing railings can also install a fence, So we decided to stick with fencing. By the way, if you look at our website, the sheds and other things that we're doing, we're canceling a lot of. We're skinning down, even still skinning down our business where it is going to be just.
And guys, speaking of, if you have not looked at this man's website, because I got so entwined into this man's website is where it's at, y'all. I mean, he has a wonderful website, by the way. Props on that. I went and checked it out last night whenever I was preloading it all in here, and there it is right there down at the bottom. Guys, go and check that out. If you're trying to build yourself a website, I would highly recommend take some notes on this one, because this one's good.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. No, thank you so much. And that's basically what we did. We decided to go into fencing, and you know, it's been good to us. We started calling customers from last year and asking them just to test the waters and see what kind of interest level will be. And we called you know, some of our customers, and they're like, hell yeah, we'd like to get a fence from you guys. You know, if you guys do, we'll sign with you. So I went online. I was researching how to build a fence, and I was on YouTube, and I saw this guy, Sean King. You know, Mr. Fence Academy. There's the tools and you know, just the he made it look sexy. You know, I really, you know, it's a fence. It's as simple as, you know, probably one of the more simple parts in construction, aside from loading and unloading trucks and, you know, things of that nature. It's pretty dang simple. You dig a hole, pour in a post, connect some sections together. You know, you have to be a little bit more creative with putting in a gate. You know, you have to be careful with making sure things are plumb and level and square and all that. But you know, I love Sean's videos. I just got hooked. And there was one night I think I watched for 3 hours straight. My wife comes in, it's like, what are you doing? I said, babe, I'm learning how to build a fence. Like, she's like, it's like 1 a.m. Go to bed. I'm like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. It's pretty. So I watched all the videos, and
you went down the rabbit hole, didn't you?
I went down the rabbit hole so hard. And I started looking up how much you charge for fans, how much is this, how much is that, and I'm like, you know, this guy has an academy. Like I can really you know, get some. What better way than trying to learn from the best? It looks like the guy's the best, and you know, I also rewind there. I love his energy. Like Sean's energy is amazing. He is just
second to none. I'm telling you that, man.
Get it. Let's get in the rabbit hole together. Let's figure this thing out. You know, and I love that energy. And so I signed up. And I went with you know, I met with Nico, and he started telling me about spreadsheets. I got to be honest with you. He started telling me about spreadsheets and diving into this you know, the nuts and bolts of the business, which I call it. And I'm like, man, I really don't need this. I was like, maybe we'll try you a little bit later. Let me go to the academy and see how it goes there. So I went to the academy, and I started learning a lot. And I kind of basically went to a back to school. You know, I got humbled. You know, I was trying to read my own numbers of my own business, of what I was doing. And I was really, really humbled by some of the spreadsheets that these guys were working on, and you know, some of the way that people were so open to share some of their business and tactics and things that I didn't even know. And you know, after the academy, I signed up for that no dig. You know, we went out, we bought all the tools, and I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. I went out, bought all the. I called it the Mr. Fence store, and I said, I need all these tools that he's talking about, this no dig, and I need you to ship them to my address, you know. And they swipe the credit card, send them over here. Then I figured out how to use them later. I went to the no dig, everything was still packaged in the box at our office. We went to the no dig with Mr. Fence, which I really recommend anybody that wants to learn this concept of fence installation. You got to go. You know,
even if you guys are stuck on dig and set, because like Sean does teach that as well, guys. It's a whole experience, and I promise you, the money that you pay, which is drastically cheaper than what it first started out to be, than what we have paid. I've been to a couple, guys. It's so much worth it. Like I preach on this show. Go ask your wife how much she spent for her degree. I guarantee you it's a whole lot less, or a whole lot more than $1,500. If you can't put $1,500 aside for your company to grow, do you really want to grow at the end of the day? Is what I ask people. I mean, like, we're talking about $60,000-$70,000 on a college degree, and people don't want to spend $1,500 to get trained on how to do something. And it's just mind blowing to me. Like, especially after going through multiple of these courses, going through learning how to teach you guys. And that was going to be my like next question was, how was your time at the no dig training? I know it was probably like drinking out of a fire hose because it was so much information thrown at you guys at once. But I really feel like on the second day, your foreman was fully grasping things.
Yeah, I mean, I really got the seat in hand. Uh, I have to be honest. I'm not in the field every day. I don't. Sometimes I have a lot to do here that don't get a chance to get out there and work with the guys. The second day I was more worn out, and I think that's where my guy was actually getting more excited about doing stuff, doing the installs. My wife was helping; she was working a long way. What I can say about it, my best takeaway from it, besides my new favorite tool. I'll tell you about that in a second. And it's not the bull. The bull is very important, but I'll tell you about my favorite tool that I learned about there. But it's very hands-on. It's very hands-on. And Sean does a great job of making sure everybody is included and everybody gets a chance. If you want to learn something, I don't care, like, if you're an outgoing person or, like an introvert that can't talk to anybody, you're going to go there and you're going to learn and you're going to get hands-on training. He's really good about adapting to different people's personalities, which I noticed too. And he really makes you feel like you're part of the team. So I think the hands-on training where that I got to see it in place, was incredible. It was incredible. My new favorite tool that I learned, though, it was the pop rivet gun. I'm very old school, so I remember using a pop rivet gun when I was doing gutters years and years ago, and it was a drill, taking the thing out, loading it, crimping it until it popped off, and you were done. And Sean comes out with this thing. He's like, guys, check out this thing. It's a I'm like, this thing is freaking awesome. I loved it. So he let me do some pop rivets. It was pretty amazing.
I remember you like, I want to rivet everything. I want to rivet everything.
If you know what, honestly, like if you could, like, rivet everything, I think it'd be great. When you guys are setting the post together, when you guys are putting that big screw from the bottom of the fence, from the plastic that goes through the ring and into the Schedule 40, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how you can get a big enough rivet to rivet that thing.
I'm sure we can find them on the internet.
I think there's got to be something to rivet that you can and just rivet it. I mean, it could probably make things so much easier. So
there has got to be a rivet that big on the internet. I promise you there is.
Let's find one together. Together.
Right.
So,
right.
But I think that Sean, it really puts, you see things on video. You'll see Sean. I'm sure most of the people here know who Sean King is. You've seen Sean on the internet and you've seen him on the video. But getting the in-house training, to see how that stuff goes, even to watch how these guys unload their truck, and how they load their truck. I've actually spent some time going into his trailer to looking and see how his tools are organized and how he puts things in. Now, granted, Sean has every single tool in the shed, like anything you can possibly have in a truck, he's got it for the fence business. I got we ordered ourselves a little smaller trailer, and we're going to get by with the basics, but basically, he's got every tool in the shed, and it was really nice to see how people organize stuff, how people ran their businesses. I got to meet a few other folks there, like yourselves, a few other contractors there that were, open up. Like they'll say, "Hey, how are you doing your estimates? I'm doing mine this way. This is the app that I'm using." It's just nice to be able to be around people that are open-minded, to talk about how they install, how their team members, the struggles that we deal with every day. The different personalities that we have to come through and overcome and see, so I mean, I think it was nice to see everybody mix in and work together. That was really cool.
Yeah, man. And like another thing that I preach on this show is like the after hours talk. The after hours talk is where you pick up real knowledge. It's where you start, excuse me, like it's where you really start talking about things, and you're not just in the field talking about how to put this together. You're getting real knowledge from people who have been there, done that, and 9 times out of 10, a smart person is going to take that knowledge and take what works for them, leave what doesn't, and apply that to their business. And that's where I try to preach to everybody. All these trainings, like, yeah, man, it's a bunch of hands-on experience, but it like if you're like me and I take away about 1 or 2 golden nuggets per training, which is still good. Most of it's almost muscle memory for me. But the after hours knowledge is where I thrive, and that's where I just like I find somebody that I want to go talk to, and I go talk to them. And that's what I love about that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And if I can rewind one more thing here about being in the hands-on training, I really love, Billy, how you guys took guys with no experience and were so humble and so patient to explain. Like, you guys have an art of doing that, man. Yourself too included, of explaining how things work, where you start. We do this because of this reason. We use this method because it's faster. However it is, we install. Watch me do like my guy was doing the pickets. And you're like, no. Why don't you do this? You step aside and you get one angle and you just kind of pop them all in this way. It was like so cool how like all natural you guys were. Like, it was really like organic and raw to see how you guys were, explaining everything. It was really great, brilliant job.
So one of my major responsibilities in the company is training new hires. And that's where I have really found that I have fell in love with teaching people. With like people ask you, what fills your cup? Whatever fills my cup is whenever I explain something to somebody and you can see the light bulb go off. They're like, oh, no way. And like they get it. Like, I love that. So it was always a goal for me to go out and train. So, I don't know if you knew, but we went up there to go through the instructor's course. So that way we could be instructors for Sean later on down the road. I still want to put myself through one more before I let myself go. But I love teaching people how to build fence. And, that's one of my things is, I've done it for so long. I mean, I've got 2.5 million views. Wait, no, way more than that. I got like 10 million views on TikTok of me nailing up a section of pickets in like a minute and 15 seconds. Needless to say, TikTok hates me. Got a whole bunch of views out of it. I mean, it is literally muscle memory for me. So like whenever I'm telling somebody how to do something, I'm going to tell them how I would do it. And I'm going to take it slow, and I'm not going to, I mean, I can nail up a whole section of pickets without back nailing them and like be fine. But, I've also been using these tools for 4 and 5 years every single day. So, I mean, like when I'm teaching, I'm just like, hey man, just take it slow. Just, find your rhythm, do 3 or 4 level back now, 3 or 4 level back now, because that was always my biggest thing was like, I'm going to get a bunch of shiners. I'm going to get a bunch of shiners. Do I get shiners? Yes, I do. I absolutely do get shiners, but it's nowhere near the amount that I used to get whenever I first started. And, it all just becomes, like I said, muscle memory. You just figure out where to put it at, and you just don't move your arm, and you just run down it. But I really enjoy teaching people. It could be dig and set fence. I would still love teaching people how to like build fence. It's one of my absolute favorite things. And it's one of the reasons why I actually started this whole podcast is like a lot of these podcasts, and I'm not down on any of them because I watch a lot of them. Most of them are all business oriented. And at the end of the day, like that business doesn't run without the installers.
Yeah.
So, if we can get these installers watching and get these guys pumped and motivated to be, trained and be a part of an organization where they don't have to pay $1,000 a year to be a part of this. And like I'm talking about like the FWA guys, if you're looking for a like fence organization to like to join, like the FWA is great. And have some real hands-on training, real stuff. The like Fence Workers Association is working on the Fence University right now, guys, and I just got an email the other day, guys. They're looking at a 12-day chain link course. 12 days. Like, I don't even know how much you can beat a dead horse in 12 days. Like, it's just on chain link. Like, my mind was blown. I was looking at like the whole like layout, and I was like, okay, cool. Oh man, we're gonna spend a whole day on residential 6-foot chain link. I was like, wow, that's impressive. So like, guys, we have some real stuff coming along, like coming down the pipeline. And a great place to check it out is going to be at the Fence and Security Show in Las Vegas, which I will be there. I will be outside the majority of the time doing my demo day stuff. But guys, I highly recommend getting out to Vegas.
When is that show?
The week of September 11th.
And that show is called what? Fence?
The Fence and Security Show by the FWA. And whenever we get off here, I'll get you information for Susan, and I'll just have you contact Susan. You can like go ahead and like become a member and get all your tickets through her and everything.
That's awesome. I'm excited to go there. In Vegas with the Fence people, the Mr. Fence Academy and Billy at the FWA. That's right, in Vegas. I like it. Sounds exciting.
Oh yeah, man. It is going to be a good time. And I don't know if you've heard any of this. Obviously not, because you're just finding out about this. But Pavel, we're going to have a 23-acre outdoor spot. And it's called Demo Days for a reason, because we're lining up manufacturers from anything that you can think of. I'm talking about forklifts, drills, tools, anything that you can think of that you can go out there and test before you buy it.
Wow.
So like, we are really putting in some thought about this. Like, there's going to be fence games. We're going to have a damn tent fence maze and a bar in the middle of the tent fence maze. It's going to be a great time out there, guys.
Amazing. God bless America. Only in Las Vegas, you can go and you can buy the tool, work on the tools before you even buy. I mean that's incredible.
Yeah, man. And like, we're talking about forklifts, we're talking about skid steers, mini skid steers, drivers, post hole diggers if you want. I mean, like, we are looking at every single manufacturer in the aspect of fence building and trying to get them out there. Speaking of that, I am going to do a like quick like promo, guys. $500 as a booth is what we've lowered the price to. That's a steal. Absolute steal. 30 by 30 booth outside. Just get a hold of me, send me a message, and I can link you up with the people to get you a booth. But all my manufacturers, go ahead and I'm gonna give you a call for that. We got some comments to deal with. Let's see. We got Robert Evers. I love chain link fence, my favorite to install. Brother, it's my least favorite to install. I love you, Mr. Evers, but no, sir. All right, let's see. We got Corey. Corey says, we won our game 22-8. Boy, y'all beat the socks off them, didn't you? 22-8. Good Lord. Did they like call it early, or I sure hope they called it early, like the mercy rule. I mean, them boys are only 8 and 9, right?
It's horrible, man. Oh.
So, Mr. Levy says, hope there's porta potty spots in the maze. So, part of why I am promoting this so much is because we blew our outdoor budget in porta potties and lights. So if we want this thing to be badass and we want it to be fun, we have to get as much manufacturers out there to get a like booth. So that's the real deal about it. It's going to be a good time. We've got a hell of a list lined up so far. So there's that. Let's see. Corey says, yes, sir. It was called. Good. I'm glad it was called, man. Dude, that's rough. 22-8. Should have been called way longer than that. But all All right, nice.
Basketball championship coming up.
Right, right, absolutely. All right, Mr. Pavel, back to the interview. We got about 15 minutes left. I think we can get it. I think we can get it done. I want to kind of keep this below an hour this week. I know we went like an hour and a half last week, but it was a late Tuesday for me, and I think you're an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm here
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
It's 9:05.
9:05. Yeah, man, it's
All good.
8:05 right now.
All
So,
good.
all right. How many crews are you planning on running on the fence side of this business? And what kind of setups are you planning on running with that?
Great question. Right now we have one sub crew that does some installation. Started doing some installation work with what things that we have. A great guy. He worked for me on the last year. He actually did my house. I did put like a horse fence in around my place last year. He helped me out with that. So he's helping us with some installations right now. What we're going to do right now at the moment is we actually bought an enclosed trailer. I know Sean told me get minimum 8x16. I actually found one 7x16 that we're gonna actually start with right now. We have the large compressor that we're gonna mount on the inside of it. We have where the door is gonna be open, and then have our tools, everything spread out from that trailer. That would be our in-house crew. That would be the guy that you met down in Evansville. Williams, he's going to be running that crew. So we're going to start with there and work from there. We're still beginners. We're still new to this. I'm still learning. I'm still, texting some of my mentors, asking questions how to even get my subcontractor out of a bind where he needs to drill through a rock. So
Yeah.
we're still learning. I mean, right now we're not actually doing any chain link fence. We've already sold some vinyl jobs. We've sold some black aluminum jobs, and we've had a few wood jobs, like small stuff for the wood things. In Pittsburgh, a lot of people are going with the no maintenance, which would be like a vinyl or like the aluminum. Still have some wood jobs, but it's a lot with that. So
with the
Columbus.
Aluminum, did you buy the I-beam license?
I actually got to talk to you guys about that. Maybe if you can tell us a little bit about it. We were at that no dig. That was one thing that we kind of ran out of time with. We did the vinyl and the wood. Never really got into the aluminum. I'd like to know more about that. We had the bull. How that drives, how that works. I'm not sure how that works yet, actually.
Brother, dude, doing the no dig aluminum with the I-beams is like stealing fucking candy from a baby. Excuse my French.
I love it. I love it.
It is so damn easy. It's not even fair. Like,
really,
you get your driver, you get your SpaceX, you get your I-beam, you get your equalizer. And I promise you, after 2 or 3 jobs, 2 guys can go out and do 400 foot and be done by 2:00.
dude.
Like, check in hand, done by 2:00, back at the shop by 2:33, just depending on how far away they drove. You know what I mean? Like,
hallelujah.
No dig aluminum is the absolute, I will never dig and set aluminum ever again. That and vinyl. Wood, if they absolutely want to do it and, we're in a bind and we need some money, sure. Let's go dig a hole. Let's go give it to crew B. But vinyl and aluminum, never again, man. It is so much easier. It is so much stronger. You eliminate all of the weak points in both of those systems with the I-beam and then with the 2 3/8 schedule 40 pipe, and that is the hole at the bottom. It is the bottom rail hole, the bottom rail hole, because in high winds there's nothing to keep that, and it'll just blow right over if you're just doing a concrete dig and set. You put that steel pipe in, you've eliminated the weak point. And not just that, you're almost at Miami-Dade statutes. And Miami-Dade vinyl statutes, I know you probably don't really know what I'm talking about, but we're talking about keyholes in every post poured with 2 foot of concrete inside of the post along with the footer. We're talking about gate inserts on every single post, metal rail like inserts on top and bottom rail. So like Miami-Dade code is extremely strict, and if we can almost pass that with just a driven post, like why would you not choose that? Like at the end of the day, like it just it just blows my mind. And like a lot of that is stemming from there was a Facebook post on one of our local contractors page, and it was one of the other three of three guys who drive post daily here in our area. And there was another contractor who I know who was trying to make an argument that there's a time and place for wood posts and there's a time and place for metal posts. And I'm like, there's not a time and place for wood posts. I'm sorry. They don't like your argument is null and void at the start of it. Like there's not even. So now are we going to use wood gate frames when there's a time and place? Like, are you telling me that a wood gate frame is better in this certain like circumstance? Because I guarantee you that your answer was no. Like, so I was just dumbfounded. I was like, man, how is that even possible? Like, how would you think that a metal post would be inferior to a wooden post? And it was just one of those like hand on face moments, man. I was like, seriously, bro? Like, come on, dude. But no, man. So basically with like the I-beam license is you are getting a license to use their patent. And the license pays for itself. The license pays for itself after your first bunk. I don't know if the prices has changed. Last year, whenever we bought our bunk, the deal was the license was $1,000. All right.
Okay.
If you did not buy the license, the bunk was like almost $900 more expensive. So you do the math. You're like, okay, so if I buy this license, it's good for a year, and I can use this product for a year. Not only can I use it, but I can also sell it to people at a more expensive cost. And then after that first like initial purchase, you still get it at that discounted cost for the rest of the year. So it just keeps going and going and going. So it completely pays for itself. And I'm telling you, the system is so easy. It is almost not fair. It's next time Sean has like an aluminum training, you need to get yourself there because it is worth it. It is a money maker, hands down.
If you could send the link or something for this no dig aluminum, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. So you can go to either ifence.com or you can go to the SWI site, which is because the partnerships between Sean King, Mark Olson, and Joe Everest. And I think the easiest way to buy them is through the SWI site. So just go to SWIFence, I think it is .com.
Okay.
And you can get the license there, and then you can have them drop shipped after that. And
so they drop ship the material, the product, yes?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we mainly use Master Halco. And so we have like delivery days of Tuesdays and Thursdays. So as long as we place our order, I think it is Corey's watching. I think the orders needs to be placed by 11. As long as we place our order by 11, we can order on Monday and it'll be at our doorstep on Tuesday at some point.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So we do that. And if we're ordering bigger truckloads, we'll probably use Stevens Pipe and Steel for round tubing, round pipe, just because we get a better price on it. We get a lot of our vinyl from Ocala Vinyl, but that is going to be way too much freight for you. That's gonna be way too much freight for you, like way up in Pittsburgh, because we're only like 6 hours from Ocala. But yeah, man, we just we sought out like manufacturers and just like made relations with them, and boom, here we are.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
You know, I mean, we're now routing our own vinyl post. We're looking to slowly, I think our goal is by 2025, we want a CNC machine, a 2-bay 4-axis CNC machine. So hopefully by 2025 that'll be possible. But yeah, man, we are just chugging right along, dude.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot to learn from you guys as far as the fencing goes, for sure. And anything, like, I say to my people, like, you got to always stay humble. You always think you know what you don't. How does Sean say?
You don't know what you didn't know until you know.
Exactly. So, but no, I'm really grateful to be on this podcast with you today. I'm grateful to have met you. Generally, I can see you're a great guy with, passionate about the fence industry, passionate to helping people. If I could have your patience, Billy, I could be able to train my people. But I'm a little bit of an impatient person sometimes, So,
hey man, so am I, brother. So am I, man. I'm just good at hiding it sometimes.
You had it all together, though. You fooled me. You had it all together. You're sharing your knowledge, and you can really slow down and talk to somebody slowly if they had to hear it slowly. And I appreciated that from you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And like I said earlier, man, I absolutely love doing what I do. I love teaching people, and that is my end goal in the fence industry. I don't want to build any more fences. I don't want to build any more fences unless I'm teaching people how to build fences at the end of the day. So, that's my end goal, and that's what I want to do.
Well, invitation to you, if you ever want to visit the Steel City, which we call it. It's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Doors are open. You and Corey come visit us anytime. Want to see Pittsburgh, want to get away from town a little bit, come up and visit us. And maybe you can teach up my guys a day someday to do, how to install fence. So we'd love to have you guys.
Yeah, look at that. Corey said it right there. You can hire us to come train your crews when you're ready.
We're ready.
But yeah, man, I would love to go up to Pittsburgh, bro. I've never been up there, so we'll have to keep that in mind. And with that said, I'm like, you got any last thoughts, man? Because we're coming right up on an hour, and I know it's getting late over there. It's getting late over here. So, you got any last thoughts or comments for anybody that's watching?
I got to tell you, I'm really appreciative to be on a podcast. I was a little nervous, actually, believe it or not. I'm not like a real into this, social media and everything. I have social media. I'm not the biggest guy on it, but I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for having me, for sure. To all the guys out there that want to learn about fence, reach out to these boys. Check out Mr. Fence Academy. Reach out to Billy. He's going to be teaching people as well. There's staying humble and learning from people that can teach you things. There's nothing more, there's nothing more. You can't be a stronger person to say, I want to get help, So here I am, I think I thought I had it made until I went out to these seminars, and I could see that, we're like babies and infants into this industry. How much you can learn and be a part of people who really know their shit and really know how to do their shit with fencing. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. And
absolutely, anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
Come visit us in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, dude. We're gonna have to plan it because we're planning on a vacation real soon. So we'll be in touch on that. And guys, anytime,
fishing poles.
Absolutely, I'm bringing my fishing poles, my guy. Guys, if anybody is looking on how to build a website, I see the questions all the time. Go check out this man's website. It's beautiful. Take some tips from it. Absolutely take some tips from it. Pavel, thank you so much for being on the show tonight, and we will be in touch very, very soon. And with that, you have a wonderful night, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys. Enjoy. Keep doing the good work.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank you, my man.
All right, guys. I hope you guys loved that as much as I did. I had a lot of fun. That was a lot of great information that was spilled. Great stuff, guys. And once again, thank you to our sponsor, Mr. Fence Academy. Thank you to our new and upcoming sponsor, National Metal Industries. I cannot wait to actually play you guys this commercial. It's going to be so great, man. Thank you to Mr. the Producer, to the Mr. Producer. Sorry, guys. I stumbled over my words. For always doing great quality voiceovers. Guys, we will see you next week, Tuesday, 7:15 p.m., same time. Corey's going to be here. It's going to be a great show. I got a lot of great ideas coming up for you guys. And with that said, I'm going to roll the outro. Where's it at? Boom. There it is. I had to go switch pages. Hey, guys, y'all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night. We'll see you guys here next Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. It's going to be a great show. Corey's going to be back. We're going to have a topic discussion. And also, as always, feel free to drop your comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Give us any input in the show, guys. We'll put you up on here. Like we said, Mr. Pavel, I see you're still watching. Pavel, feel free to get a hold of me if you need materials in our area. We're out of Butler, Pennsylvania. Pin Fencing. Happy to help you out. 724-816-1958. There you go, Mr. Nat. Mr. Nat. Matt. Oh, there's my wife. I love you too, baby. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, we out of here.